Well, hello to all of our RAIN partners out there. This is Byron Belka, and today, as we go through this training, what we're going to focus on is the RAIN's profit system. So, how you go out there as you're sharing this opportunity, as you're sharing this amazing product soul with people, what is RAIN doing, and how can you profit as you go out there and share this good news and this amazing product with people? So, I want you to understand the different ways that you can have the money come at you, the different ways that you can get compensated for being out there and sharing this opportunity. So, the first thing that you need to understand is it's all about the product. Nothing happens unless product moves. If product moves, then there's compensation to be had, and it's all about that. And so, right now, the first thing that we have out there is this company is based on customers, based on getting people on this product and experiencing it. At the moment, we have a 20 count box, and I want everybody to know that while supplies last, we're going to do this 20 count box, and as soon as the supply is out, we're going to switch to the 30 count box like we have everywhere else, and that we're focused on everywhere else. Now, when that happens, these bonuses are going to go up, obviously. So right now, for every customer that somebody gets on, referring customer that somebody goes out and gets on the product, as a company, we give you $10 for every box, and then there's 20 points that go into the team or organization or for team commissions. And this is done on every box every single time it's sold. So if you get a customer out there that loves the product, gets a box or two, every time they reorder, every time they buy a box, they're going to get that $10. Now, once again, this is going to go up to the 20 count boxes as soon as we get through the 30 count box as soon as we get through the 20 count. And these bonuses will continue to go up, obviously, with the 20 count instead of, or with a 30 count instead of 20. So pay attention to that. But as you go out there and share, we want to put money in your pockets, obviously, for helping people experience the power of this great product soul. Now, for those people that want to join us and join us in our profit system and join us as partners in this company, there's really two ways to enroll and get started. We have two main things that people can do. You're either getting in business with us with a 1 business center or a 3 business center. So as you look at the team commissions or you look at the binary portion of the compensation plan, this is where you're going to notice this. So if you come in with a 1 BC, that we call it, a 1 business center, you have one position in the binary. If you come in with a 3 business center, then as you can see, the 2 spots directly underneath you are you again. And even though now you have the opportunity to build 4 legs, I'm going to tell you that your focus should still be the 1 leg as you're helping your organization and team, but your points on your 2nd and 3rd positions are going to accumulate as you start to build that position number 1. Now, one of the things that I like most about what we're doing in this compensation plan is we're taking strengths from certain aspects of comp plans, and any weakness that is, every compensation plan is going to have strengths, it's going to have flaws, and we're taking the strengths of compensation plans and we're finding the weakness and strengthening it with another compensation plan. And so the binary is just one aspect of the comp plan as we get into this, but there's really 2 ways that somebody's going to join us and become a partner. And that's either through a 1 business center or a 3 business center. Okay. And so as people are coming and they join us, obviously we want to help compensate those people that are getting new partners to join our team. Now, when people join our team, they're buying product to share, to sample, to get out there and have people experience it. So as they get these starter kits with product in it, we're going to give you a first order bonus. Now, that's depending on the type of a kit that they come in with. Each kit has a different first order bonus, but we have a kit out there that has a 1 business center kit with 100 CV or commissionable volume. And for that, the first order bonus is $30. We have a 3 business center, and that has a $90 first order bonus. So it's exactly how it sounds. As you go out there and you bring people into your organization or into the company as partners, and as they get this product to go out there on the first order, we're going to pay you an additional lump sum as a company to say thank you for bringing in, you know, new people to help share the message and to help try the product. But it's all, once again, based on product as product moves. So to be qualified for this bonus, you need to do 50 personal volume, or we also call it PVQ, personal volume qualification. So really, you need to be practicing what you preach. That's all we're asking. If this is out something that you're promoting, how can you be promoting something that you're not doing yourself? So you need to be practicing what you preach. If you're on 1 box a month yourself, you're qualified for this bonus. And so you can see that as somebody goes out there and you go and you get a few people in your organization, these first order bonuses can add up. We want to put some quick money in your pocket as you're building your business. Right at the very beginning is when you need it. So these first order bonuses help do that as somebody's getting started and sharing that you've got a little extra money now for gas and to do the things that you need to get your business off the ground. All right. So first order bonuses are important, but we also want to incentivize you to help your people. This is a team approach compensation plan, and it's all about the team. So we also have a first order bonus match, or an FOBM. Now, this is where not only can you get a first order bonus off of the people that you bring in, but as you help your people get people, because once again, we call it you sponsor somebody in the business. When you sponsor somebody, I love that word because you're really sponsoring somebody. You're supporting them. And so as you go out and help your people get people, now there's a bonus there that's going to help with that as well. So to kind of give you an example, if somebody that you bring into the business goes out and gets a new RAIN partner in their organization, and let's say it's with a 3BC, they're going to get the $90, but then you can get $30. Or with the 1BC, they're going to get the $30 and you can get the $10 for going out there and helping them do that. Now, for this bonus, you're really kind of getting engaged into the business, and we require 100 PVQ, or 100-point qualification, for the first order bonus match. Now, as people are getting engaged, you're going to see that 1 box isn't enough. I mean, I think people are noticing that already. A lot of people like to take more than one packet themselves every day. And for those people that are building an organization, if you only have 1 box, there's no way that you're going to be able to sample and have people share this and experience this product with 1 box. So this is where, 100 points, 2 boxes can come into play. So this starts to add up now as the duplication happens, as your team begins to expand. You start not only to get the first order bonuses, but these matching bonuses in your organization, which is powerful and helps somebody, as I mentioned at the beginning, when they're just getting started, put a little additional income in their pocket and money in their pocket. Now, the next part of the compensation plan is what we call team commissions. And we call it team commissions because it is based on the team. And so for you to be qualified in team commissions, one thing you need to do is be active, which is, like I always say, practice what you preach. You're on at least 1 box yourself, so you can experience the product and share with people what your testimonial is on it. And then you've personally brought one person in on the right side of your business and on the left side of your business. This is the binary portion of the compensation plan. So everybody has 2 spots directly underneath them, in a 1BC. And so as you start to build this organization, you got to just make sure that you have one person on each side of your business that you brought into the business that is active, that is purchasing product, that is buying at least 50 points every single month. And it doesn't have to be directly underneath you. Like we mentioned, this is a binary, so it could be a couple levels deeper on one side if you haven't put somebody there and your upline is building that line or putting some people underneath there coming from above. It doesn't matter where it is. Just you need to have one on both sides. Now, as soon as you become team qualified, you can benefit in the team commissions. Now, how the team commissions work is this is a weekly plan. I love to get money in people's pockets. I love, it's almost like my kids. If I ask my kids to do something and I'm going to give them a reward, they want that reward more instantaneously, or it doesn't have the power as it could when I'm trying to get them to help me or do an extra job. If I can reward them instantly, then they're going to be more apt to want to do some things like that again. And that's the same thing I believe with all of us. We want to go out there and do this. We pay every single Friday is when commissions go out. So depending on your bank and depending on your country, I mean, you might not get that on Friday. Maybe you get that on the following Monday or Tuesday, depending on where you're at in the world. But we pay the commissions out every Friday to our RAIN partners. And so how we do this is our commission week starts on Monday and ends on Sunday. Sunday night, midnight Central Time. That's our week. And everything that is done that week, we pay out that following Friday. So the system, we're looking at points as people are purchasing product, getting customers, doing these things, getting partners into their organization. It's all based once again on product moving. So as product gets moved, each box of product has points attached to it, and these points go up the organization and up the tree. And the system, the back office system, tracks this. So you can see in this scenario, on the left side of the business, you have 12,000 points. On the right side of the business, you have 23,000 points. Now, we don't care how deep it is. I don't care where the points come from. I don't care if it's from you. I don't care if it's from somebody in your team. We don't care if it's somebody from above you that placed somebody underneath you, because we have to build down. We don't care where the points come from. We just look at the total points. And we pay 5% of both sides where it's even. So what I mean by that, in this scenario, you have 12,000 points on the left side. Okay, 5% of 12,000 is $600. We also have 23,000 points on the other side, but it's even at 12,000 points. So I'm going to pay on the 12,000 points. So there's another $600 that you're going to get paid. So a total of $1,200. So you're getting paid 5% of both sides where it's even, but we say 10% of the lesser side or the lesser leg because it's easier math. It's the same thing. So 10% of the lesser side of the 12,000 is $1,200 once again. So you are getting compensated on both sides. Now here's the thing that I love about this. So you get paid that money, and then the next week we start over. So you've been paid the 12,000 points on the one side, so you're going to start at zero. On the other side, you've been paid 12,000 off of 12,000 points, but there's still 11,000 points left. So here's the question. What do we do with those points? Because usually, and what I'd experienced in this industry is if I didn't have enough, leaders wide, and I to be able to get paid the depth, and I didn't hit all these qualifications, that money that I could have made was gone. It's called breakage. It's a swear word in this industry. You don't want breakage. It goes back to the company or back to the house. So what do we do? Well, here's the beautiful thing about being active and practicing what you preach. As long as you're active, as long as you're buying and consuming your box every single month, those points are going to wait for you. We're not going to take them away. The work has been done. I believe there's two types of compensation plans out there. There's a type that's the fear of loss, where if you don't do this, we're going to take this from you. If you don't do that, you're going to get penalized this way. And then you have the motivating type compensation plans. And the motivating type are just that. We want to motivate you. So as you see these points on, in your back office and those 11,000 points there, it's money still that you can put in your pocket. If it takes you another week to catch up, if it takes you a month, if it takes you a year, we don't care. Okay? The money's sitting on the table. You go out there and do a little bit more work, and you can put it in your pocket. And that's the type of compensation plan that we have. It's a motivating compensation plan. And there's people out there that have hundreds of thousands or millions of points already banked up because they've had one of their teams and organizations, or maybe people that aren't even theirs, that have started to build some pretty significant volume. Now that's the commissions there, team commissions that can be put in their pocket as soon as they go out there and earn it on the other side. So I love that fact. Now in this portion of the comp plan, we can't pay down forever deep. So it has to be capped somewhere. And so what happens is, we have a $10,000 a week cap on the team commission. So you can make up to $10,000 a week off of your people and other people's people. And that's still pretty significant. $10,000 a week. I know, and we have people already doing this in the short time that we've been in business and out promoting. They're already hitting those caps, which is great because it's exciting. That's guaranteed money. This is kind of the insurance money, the money that you can count on out there as every single week that's coming in. So This is just one aspect of the compensation plan. If you like the $10,000 a week and that sounds good to you, wait till we show you some of these other parts where you can make tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in the compensation plan. So this is the team commissions because it is all about the team. People aren't an island unto themselves out building this thing by themselves. As you put more people in your organization, as we open up more countries in the future, as we continue to expand in North America and around the globe, it has to build down. And the thing I love, I'm not trying to tell people, here, get a spot and then just wait. That's not the concept here. The concept is you can motivate your people with your people. You can help the people that join you in your organization praise your name because of what you're doing out there. And as you're going and you're getting more people in the organization, the team has a chance to benefit off that. And that's powerful because that makes it about the team. There's a real momentum, and right now we have momentum and things are growing. And I was looking at some people's accounts trying to, help some people. And I always like to look at the numbers. And I talked to a few people a few weeks ago that got involved in the organization and kind of looking and seeing what's happened underneath them. And we have people in the last 3-4 weeks that have hundreds and hundreds of new people in their organizations in this team commission in the binary portion. And what I love about that is the fact that there really is an urgency because of this aspect of the compensation plan for people to get positioned. You want to get positioned because once again, this is a team approach, and you want to be able to help not only help the team, and most importantly, help your team. All right. So I mentioned about the team commissions. I mentioned that there's also another way to make a lot more money. And we call this the generation matching bonus. Now, in this company, we have what's called a 50% guaranteed payout. So out of all the money that comes in and all the commissionable volume that comes in every single week, we take that commissionable volume and we guarantee 50% of it is going to be paid out. Those first order bonuses that I talked about, those are above and beyond the 50%. So we actually pay a lot more than 50%. But this is just on this portion of the compensation plan, these things that I'm talking about where the 50% comes into play, and one or two other bonuses that I'll share with you. So how this works is first we pay the binary and some other bonuses, and whatever's left over out of the 50% is what goes to the sponsor tree. And so this can go up and down, each week depending on what was paid out in the binary. But the thing that's really important about this 50% payout is it protects the RAIN partner. It protects you because as a company, we have to pay that out one way or another. It's getting paid to the RAIN partners. And I love that because it's money that you deserve. And one way or another, we're going to pay you. And so let's say that in a particular week in the binary, there's about 40% that's paid out in that portion and a couple other bonuses. So there's 10% that's left over. And the reason that I use 10% is because it's usually 10% or above. It's usually 10% or right around there, but it's easy math if I use that. Now you can see that you have 4 people on the front line. There's 2 ways of looking at your organization. You have the binary, which builds down. So people go into the next available spot. Then you have the sponsor tree that looks like the more traditional plan. So here's the 4 people that you brought into the business. Let's say you have those 4 people on your front line. You see the 4. And underneath that are the people that they brought into the business. And underneath that are the people that they brought and that they brought and they brought. So you can kind of see this is more of a unilevel type structure. And we're looking at who brought who into the business, where the binary is, can be more than your people, it can be other people's people. So we're going to look and see how well your people did. So if you have somebody that's gone out there and gotten a check, you see that guy at the top in the light blue. Let's say that they get a check for $1,000 or $900 in the generation, or sorry, in the team commission. So in the binary, let's say they get a check for $900, and there's a 10% match that week. Well, you're going to get a 10% bonus, not from their check, from the company in addition. And so you're going to get $90 because they got 900. And I remember the first time I really started to understand this concept, because this isn't, we don't, as a company, we don't just pay this bonus on your frontline people, but we paid on their people and on their people and on their people. And as I started to really think about this, I thought, okay, so tell me this. So we go out as a team and we share this product and we get people to take it and we bring people in, and as we're building this organization and product moves each week, we all get compensated off of that volume. So the volume comes into the tree in the binary and we all get paid. Now, after we get paid, the company goes back and looks and says, how well does your team do? And they're going to bonus you off of that same volume again. So you can get paid 2 times off the same volume in multiple ways. So now, as your team goes and sees success, you see more success. So the goal is to help your people see success. And if you want to see more success and be able to have your excuse me, commissions go up, then what you're going to do is you're going to help your team. And I love that because it puts the focus on the right activity, and our activity should be helping each other. And our activity should be really being a sponsor, which is what this industry and this company is all about. Being a sponsor. When you're sponsoring people, you're not just bringing them in, but you're helping them succeed. And so this is 7 generations deep of leadership, not 7 levels, but 7 generations. So a generation is somebody that's hit at least the bronze executive level. And we're going to get into these levels later. But if you look at the light blue, you can see the one person that brought 2, that brought 3, and it goes down. And then at the bottom there's a bronze executive. So that means that everybody from that person up, whatever their team commission check was, you're going to get a percentage off of that. It doesn't have to be, so your personal person doesn't have to be the leader. If there's not a leader in that leg yet, it's going to keep going down, and the first generation hasn't stopped yet. So you don't have to have a leader for it to begin. All you have to do is, if you qualify, is help your people see success. And so you're going to see here that everybody is in that first generation, but only in that leg. Each leg is separate. You don't have that guy at the bottom because he becomes a bronze executive, cap all of your other legs. Okay? And then underneath him is where that second generation would start and would begin. So we're talking 7 generations of matching bonuses. This is not 7 levels. It can be hundreds and hundreds of levels where and you have hundreds or thousands of people. And I want you to think about that. This is more the long-term money. This is the big money, but it takes time. That's why the binary is beautiful. It's a little bit faster, creates a little bit more momentum. And with the first order bonuses, the quicker, more upfront money, this is the long-term money. The problem with this part of the compensation plan is it takes a while. That's why we have other parts of the compensation plan on the front end. This is the back end where the big money is. So as your team continues to expand, just think about it when you have thousands of people getting checks every week and then tens of thousands. And you have a chance because you were a sponsor and helped get this thing going. You have a chance to get bonus off of what everybody's team commission check is. So very, very powerful. And like I said, when I first understood this years ago, I mean, I couldn't sleep for a week because I loved the concept and I loved the fact that, it's all about helping people. And once again, it's a team approach. It's a team approach compensation plan. So the generation matching bonus is another way that we pay out. As we look at other ways that we can help people and get people out there and get them started, we put together some other bonus pools. Now, this is a portion that comes out of the 50% as well, but every single week we look at the global volume that comes into the company, the global commissionable volume. Now, you might not have any business in Asia, or if you're in Asia, you don't have any business, let's say, in your organization in Europe or or the US or vice versa. But you still have an incentive for us to do well as a global company because you can benefit off of that. We take 3% of the total company's volume every single week, and we put it into some pools. And the thing that I'm impressed with, that I love, is that we're helping the little person and the little guy or gal that's getting started in the business. So as we go through the ranks later, you're going to understand this. But out of this 3% that we gather, we split it into 2 pools. We take 70% of that 3%, we put it into a builder's pool. We take the remaining 30%, and we put it into an executive pool. And there's shares that we pay out. And so if you're a manager, which is the first rank, The first rank that somebody can hit in our compensation plan is really manager, senior manager, or bronze executive. We're going to pay 1, 2, or 3 shares depending on where you're at that week. So this money that we're bringing in, and when you're talking about 3% of global sales, this is going to continue to get bigger and bigger as we grow. But who are we giving? We're not giving it to the elites, to the people that are doing the best. We're giving it to the new people that are coming into the company. And because we're giving it to the new people, obviously those shares aren't huge, but still an extra $10 or $15 a share or $20 a share, depending on the week, still helps. As you're sitting down with somebody, it still helps to fuel the business. It might not be big money, but it's still something weekly that people are getting as they hit these levels. All right, and then as they hit some the higher levels and start going silver, gold, and platinum, then they get into that other pool and they get shares in that as well. So these are 2 pools that we have set up. Once again, we put the focus at the beginning of the plan to help people and to put a little additional money in their pockets. So the bonus pools are these 2, the builders and the executive pool. Now for the people that hit the higher ranks though, we have what's called the lifestyle bonus. We don't really have a car program or anything here, especially on a global scale. We want to do something that works. But the reason we call this a lifestyle bonus is I believe our whole goal is to improve your lifestyle. So yeah, go buy a car with it if you want, but you go do whatever you want with it. You can go and do whatever you want with it. So as you hit these ranks and your pearl, sapphire, diamond, or black rain diamond, this money that you see, the $200 or $500 up to $500, this is extra money weekly that we just put into your account to say, go and improve your lifestyle. Go out there and make it happen. Here's a little extra money on top and above and beyond everything else that's going on that we just want to give you for hitting those ranks. And every single week that you hit that, you get it. So it's not something that you have to qualify for multiple times. And if you're not there and you get it, you hit it, you get it on this. So once you've hit that rank, and we're going to go through in a minute the ranks and how you do that, then you're going to be getting that money. So improve your lifestyle with the lifestyle bonus. We obviously have incentive trips and different things that we do to try to help not just people have a global business. We want to help you see the globe. This is a lifestyle company, and we want to provide that type of lifestyle for those people that love that. Some people may not like to travel, but even getting together with people that are seeing success from around the world, it's a great opportunity to network that way and to learn what's going on and see how people are doing it in different areas of the world and the success that they're having, and just have a good time. I love this. This is one of the things that I love about this industry are the incentive trips and the things that we get to do together. My best friends come from this company and come from this industry because of the time we get to spend together and because of what we have a chance to build together. So we have incentive trips as well. So we talk about long-term residual income in this company, and how that happens is you have to have a powerful product, which we do in Soul. Okay? But as people go out there and get on this product, that's why I like to focus on the auto ship, because as we go out and get our customers and our people on our auto ship programs, they're going to be able to experience Soul and have it come on a monthly basis. Now, anybody can cancel anytime. There's no penalty for that. The auto ship, they're going to get a discount on the product for doing that, for signing up on an auto ship. And once again, it's more long-term residual income that you can count on every single month, because this is not a product people want to take 1 month and be off of it. This is a product, and these are things that are essential nutrients in this product that our bodies need on a daily basis. Every single day they need them. And so just from your standpoint, I want to show you on AutoShip what you qualify for in this compensation plan and how it works. So if you're on 1 box of product every single month, you have 50 points. You're qualified for the first order bonus, and you're qualified for the binary team commissions. Now, as you can see what we've done here, we've stair-stepped this thing up. Now, a lot of companies will say you do 100 points or 200 points, and they put this burden on people maybe when their income is not at the level where it's justified yet. So what we want to do is when it's time, for example, for you to bump up, I believe that the 100-point auto ship is the sweet spot, because that's really where you're getting and tapping into all areas of the compensation plan. Obviously, I'm passionate about the product. I go through personal at least 3 boxes myself every month, because I take at least 2 to 3 packets a day. But that's me. Everybody's a little bit different. I know people that take even more than that or less than that. And that's just me. I have my family that I love to share this product with, and I love to have samples that I can share the product with people that I come in contact with. And it's really easy, this 2-ounce packet to share. I love it. It's like an instant brochure that you can just give to somebody and they can experience. All right, so we do this in stair step because we don't want to put too much added pressure on somebody until it makes sense. That's what I love about the way that we've structured this compensation plan, is when it's time for somebody to move to the next level, they can justify it with the income that they're making. So if you're on a 2-box auto ship, or you're doing 100 PVQ a month, you get paid the first order bonuses, you get paid the first order bonus match, binary team commissions, and generations 1 through 3. You get the lifestyle bonus and the builder pools. So this all, like I said, this all starts, really the life begins with a 100-point auto ship, when that makes sense. But at the very beginning, as you're getting going, as you're just getting your own testimonial, 1 box is fine. And then if you want to get paid off of generations 4 through 7, that's when you jump up to 200 points, or 4 boxes a month. And I can tell you, if you need to jump up because you're missing out on generations or money that could be paid there, by that time, the additional money that you're going to be spending on the product, you'll probably be on 4 boxes plus anyway, if your organization's that big, and you're going to be making more money than it's costing you at that point to be on that. If you really are having people generations 4 through 7 that you're not getting paid on, your organization is going to be big enough, as if it's reaching that depth, that you can afford it. And that's what we're trying to do. The economy is not the same today as it was years ago. And we're not, we want this to be a global opportunity. We don't want, to go into markets where, a 200-point auto ship, when you, excuse me, when you put tax and shipping on top of that, or customs or duties, depending on what country we're in, we're in some countries where they don't make $300 a month. How can we ask people to spend $300 on an auto ship unless the business is justifying it? And so we put this in stair and steps for people to get to that, and get to those levels. So there's the auto ship. Now I wanted to talk about the different ranks and how somebody achieves them. You can go to rainintl.com and download this underneath the comp plan or the profits area. You also, in the back office of your organization, in the back office underneath tools and training materials, you can find this as well. But I'm going to break this down because I know it's kind of small. So I'm going to show you the starting levels and what they mean. So if somebody is not purchasing any product, the system's going to call them an associate. If you have people in your organization that are buying at least 1 box, or purchased a box, and they have 50 points of qualification, they're a RAIN associate. All right. Now, when somebody hits the manager rank, this manager rank is the first real level of the of the compensation plan, and we build everything around this. You're going to see the manager is one of the most important levels in this company, yet it's the first. You're going to notice that we didn't put it towards the end where we need people to hit this high level for you to ever move up in rank. Manager is the most important rank that you're really trying to get people to hit, and it's the first one. So to become a manager, you have to, 1, here's the qualifications: have 50 PVQ, 2, have 300 points in your lesser team in your binary. And I'll show you a picture of that in just a second. But you want a minimum of 300 points in your lesser side or your lesser team. And as we talked about, to be able to get team commissions, you need to be team commission qualified. You need to have personally sponsored somebody on their left and somebody on the right that is active themselves. And that's the qualification to becoming a manager. As well as you can see on the leadership pool, you're going to get 1 share. So you get 1 share in the leadership pool. Now, you can see over there weekly earning potential. I'm going to get into this, but there's one thing about this that if somebody gets into the business and they put one person on their right and one person on their left, and that's all they do, they can make up to $1,000 a week. Okay, I'm not going to allow them to make $10,000 a week because they got to do more for that. And I don't want them to drain the generation match for just bringing two people. $52,000 a year for bringing two people in the organization, I think is phenomenal if that happens for them. So if they want to make more money, then just go out there and do a little bit more. Now, I'm going to come back to the senior manager, but you can see here with a manager, the light gray people are people that you've personally brought into the business. So if you have at least 300 points on your lesser side, you're active yourself with a box of product, and you've personally brought in one person on each side. Let's say the gray people are, once again, the people you brought in. Doesn't matter where they're at, because in the binary it's building down. You just put people in the next available spot. You're a manager. All right. So now a senior manager is the same qualifications, except for you have 700 points in your lesser side. Here you're going to get 2 points in the pools, or 2 shares in the pool, and you're going to be able to get more of that 3% that we've divided up in those 2 pools that I've shared with you. So these are the starting levels, and that we call these the manager ranks, the manager and senior manager. Now the next level, or the next ranks, are the executive ranks. Now when you hit the executive ranks, you can look at the PVQ and the personal volume qualification. That's where we get up to the 100 points. Okay, now in this portion, this is where the gen matching begins. All right, and if you look out in the industry, you're going to see that we've made it a lot easier for people to get into this portion of the compensation plan, into the gen matching portion than others would make it. So you have bronze, silver, and gold. Here's where you need to be personally on 2 boxes of product every month, and you need to hit bronze, 1,500 points in your lesser leg. You still need the personal qualifications, and you need 1 manager leg. And I'm going to explain what a manager leg is here in a second. You're going to get paid 1 generation deep. So not 1 level, 1 generation. So if you don't have any generations yet because you're new in your business, you're the first bronze executive in your organization, that would mean that anybody in your organization that gets a team commission check, you're going to get bonused on. Everyone, every single person. And so that's why bronze is really the door that opens up this other aspect of the compensation plan. You want to get to bronze executive as quick as you can, because you're going to then be able to start to bonus off of this gen matching portion. And once again, if you get there first and you get there quick, you're going to see that everything is open to you. All right. So, and to hit silver, you need to have 3,000 points in the lesser side, and then now you're going into the different pool. You had 3 shares into the leadership pool, into the builders pool, and now you get into to silver, and now you're playing in the executive pool. You get 1 share there. There's less people in that pool, obviously, so the shares are bigger. So you hit 3,000, you're still personally qualified. You have 2 manager legs, and you can get 2 generations deep. Gold, 5,000 on your lesser side. You're personally qualified 1 or 2 people that are active. 3 manager legs, and 3 generations deep. And then obviously those shares in the executive pool increase. Now I want you to pay note to this 5,000 lesser leg. You've hit a part in the compensation plan now as we move forward. That's the max that's really required to hit any other level as you move forward. 5,000 points in your lesser leg. You're already there. That's the max. So as we look into this, let me show you what it takes to create a manager, what a manager leg even means. Because right here you need 1, 2, or 3 manager legs to hit those levels, right? And then you can also see what we do with the weeks. Here is, you can see the income. And bronze executive, you make up to $1,500 a week. Silver, $2,000, and then gold, $4,000. So what happens if you could have made more than $4,000 in the team commissions, but you come up against that cap? All we do is we push that forward into the next week. With a weekly plan and with this binary, what we don't want to do and what we can't do is we can't put too much stress on the comp plan in 1 week. This is something that we've learned looking at the industry. If you do that, then too much binary payout is going to get, or team commissions is going to get paid out 1 week. Let's say somebody didn't have 1 of their legs qualified. Let's say you have 1 person active in your left, but not one person active in your right. And both legs are building. So you're accumulating points on both sides. You have tons of points. And then you go out and you get that person active on your right. Well, now all this volume is supposed to get paid out. But since it was accumulated over weeks and weeks and weeks, we can't put too much stress on the compensation plan all in 1 week, or the gen match percentage is gonna hurt. So what we do is, if at this level, if you're gold and you're making $4,000 a week, and let's say you could have made a little bit more in the team commissions, you don't lose it. It just gets pushed forward to the next week. So those commissions are still getting paid out. And once again, you hit a higher level, that goes up as well. So we want to be cautious and careful, make sure people don't manipulate, as well as make sure, once again, there's this flow of the payouts. Now, anything dealing with first order bonuses aren't included in these weekly potentials. Okay, they're not included. It's above and beyond. So you can make more money than that through the other bonuses, but there's certain aspects of the comp plan that we need to protect the whole thing. And this is something that we've learned, obviously, by having somebody else go out there and make some mistakes, and we don't want to make them. So you're going to find that I'm the type of guy that I want to look into the industry and see what's proven. I don't want to guinea pig on people's people. And you also see that what we've done here, if you look at other binary hybrid compensation plans, we're allowing you to gen match quicker with lesser leg volume being smaller than what you're going to find. And so let me show you what a manager leg is. So as we look to the sponsor tree, remember there's two views. You can see your organization in the binary, and then we have what's called the sponsor tree view. This just in theory is going to show you now more the unilevel approach. We're helping, there's the people you got in, the people they got in, so on and so forth. Now the manager does not have to be your personally sponsored person. So let's look at this light blue leg again. So you've got one person that gets 2, that gets 3, that starts to build down. Let's say this person right there on that second becomes a manager. It's not the person you brought in, but it stemmed from them. As long as anywhere in the depth there's a manager, then that whole leg is qualified as a manager leg, manager or above. So I told you that manager is the first rank. So if somebody hits the manager level or higher, then that leg is qualified. That's one of your qualified legs. So it's really not, we're not putting the requirements really, really high for people. You got to go out there and have somebody hit almost the top level of the company, or at least the 3rd or 4th rank in the compensation plan to be able to move up rank yourself. And it needs to be your personally sponsored. It doesn't need to be your personally sponsored, and it just needs to be the first level. I don't really know how much easier we could make it as far as looking at ranks for moving up in qualification. Now, let's say you have somebody else that goes manager. The reason that I'm showing you this is you could actually have a lot of people go manager in that leg. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you have 2 manager legs. You could have 100 managers in that leg, but that's still one qualified leg that stems from you. So I want to make sure that you understand that. So just because you have 2 managers there doesn't mean you have 2 manager legs. That's still one qualified leg. And then as you look at the lime green side, you can see that there's a bronze executive. So that's above a manager. So that's a qualified leg. And then you can see in the orange right there that there's some bronze executives, as we're showing you some generations there. That's obviously a qualified leg. Senior manager, anything manager or above. So in this scenario, there's 3 qualified legs. They had the volume and met the other requirements. They would be gold, and they would be able to get paid 3 generations deep in their organization. All right, so that's kind of how that works. Now we go to the elite ranks. Now the elite ranks, there's something else that happens that changes, because we're not looking at the binary so much anymore. Now we're getting into the bigger money. Okay, as your team and your organization is growing, as those checks are growing, as your generation bonuses are growing, we're going to focus. This is where you can jump up to, like I said, the 200 points at this point to hit those generations 4 through 7 if you're missing them. So to hit these ranks, the qualifications are, now you're at 200 points qualification as you stepped up. Notice I told you the lesser team qualification is still only 5,000 points in your lesser leg, because we're not focused on the binary as much anymore. We're on the back end of the compensation plan. Now what we're doing is we're looking back into your sponsor tree, not so much your binary, but your sponsor tree. Who are the people that you brought into the business? It can be on both sides of your business in the binary, but we're going to take those legs and add up all their points. So if you have 10,000 points from people that have stemmed from you, doesn't matter where they're at in the binary, we're looking at the sponsor tree, then you're qualified. That's the qualification. 10,000 points. You need to hit it first week, you're there. You're a platinum elite. And you can see that it says max per leg, which means you can't have just one team go out there and do 10,000 points and then you hit platinum. Because if that were the case, if we'd allow that, then we could have somebody at the bottom hit a rank and then everybody above automatically qualifies for that link. So we have a 50% rule that 50% max can't come from one leg. So it's not just one person out there making everybody qualified. So you can only have 5,000 for this qualification purposes come from one leg. You still need to have your personally sponsored right and left as always. And here you need to have 4 manager legs, as I shared with you on the previous screen. And if you do that, you're going to get paid 4 generations deep. You still, in the executive pool, get 3 shares there. And this continues to go up. You hit Pearl Elite. Now all the same qualifications are there, except for your team as a team. In the group volume is doing 15,000, and you need to hold this for 2 consecutive weeks. Once again, we have the 50% max rule from the leg. So you can't have a leg that qualifies you at more than 7,500. Let's say that you have a leg, though, that's doing way more than that. It has nothing to do with commissions. We're still going to pay you on that. I'm just saying for qualification purposes, you're going to need more than one leg out there doing something. And so this thing starts to go across. Pearl Elite is where the lifestyle bonus kicks in. So now, after you've hit that for 2 consecutive weeks and you're a Pearl, anytime you hit that again, if you hold it, we're going to pay you that $200. Let's say you go back down to Platinum one week, and the next week you're back at Pearl. You don't have to hit that qualification of 2 weeks again. You've already done it. Then you're going to get that $200 lifestyle bonus again every time that you hit that. Once you go up to Sapphire, now we're talking 20,000 in your group volume, and you hold that for 3 consecutive weeks. And then Diamond is 25,000 for 4 consecutive weeks. And you can see that that lifestyle bonus increases as we go up. So here's the thing. Let's make this really, really simple for those people that really want to go to the top of the compensation plan. Here's what you need to do to hit the top level of our comp plan and open up almost everything for you. Is you need 7 manager legs. So 7 people that you've sponsored that either them or somewhere in their team there's a manager, okay, that are hitting manager. And then you also need to have 25,000 group volume points every week. Doesn't matter which side of the binary. Once again, we're looking at the sponsor tree, and we're looking at the people that have stemmed from you and the volume that they're bringing. $25,000 a week. So if you're doing $25,000 a week, and obviously these other requirements are there, and you have 7 managers, you're there. You're there. We just had a couple of people last week do this, and it was amazing. I think that they were the fastest diamonds, and they were in Asia that we just had. They hit diamond in 2 weeks. But obviously they came in and did some pretty amazing things, and that's not normal. But they started to qualify for 2 weeks. You have that 4-week qualification, obviously. So here's the elite ranks. Now, we've done something here when you get into the elite ranks to make it easier. Looking at the industry and looking at people that have the weekly compensation plans, one of the things that I didn't like is that what do you do if I have more than 10,000 points one week, so I'm platinum, but the next week I got to do it again, but I can't use those extra points because the week is over. Why am I penalized because I did more, but I didn't hit the next level? So what we do now is we have what's called a rolling average. So we call it the rolling group volume. We take 4 weeks and we roll it. So let's say 1 week, your group volume, you hit all the qualifications. You need 10,000 group volume points to hit platinum, but you had 13. So you had an extra 3,000. So you're going to be qualified. We're going to pay you commissions on all 13,000, so you get paid on everything. But for qualification purposes, we're going to have that extra 3,000 push forward to the next week to help keep you qualified. And this is brilliant because people don't do this. A lot of companies, they don't do this. You have to start over every week in a compensation plan. And in this weekly plan, I don't want people to pick and choose when they're working. If we don't do this, in my opinion, let's say we go open up a country and we explode and you have 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 points in your organization one week. Well, the next time that week comes around, you're not really going to work. You have all the points you need that week. You're going to pick and choose which weeks you work because you've got to hit qualification that week. I don't want people doing that. I want you to work. And if you have people and you have more volume one week, that's fine. We're going to pay you on the commissions. But for qualification purposes, that excess volume is going to help keep you qualified. I don't want you just to hit a rank. I want you to hit a rank and hold it. And so you can see week 2. Let's see week 2. You only got 8,000 points in your group volume, but you still had that extra 3,000 that pushed from the week before. You needed 10,000 to hit platinum, and you're there. So now there's an extra 1,000 that pushes forward. So you can see week 3, you hit 9,000. You're not quite there yet, but you had an extra 1,000 to help keep you there. So as you're building your business, this rolling group volume, you're not focusing on which week it is and what do I need to do to make sure that I hold back volume here and put volume. Don't even worry about it. Just go to work. Go to work. And this rolling group volume will average that out. I want you to hit rank and hold rank and get those lifestyle bonuses consistently, get the depth in your organization as far as gen matching consistently. We want that to happen for you. And so this 4-week rolling group average is innovative and something that we're doing here at Rain International. So the next rank and the last rank, and we're going to be adding to this as people are now hitting this, and we're going to be putting new ranks and new benefits as well. But this Black Rain Diamond. And right now in the company, we have 3 Black Rain Diamonds. We had one hit again last week. So congratulations to all the new people that are hitting new levels. But the only requirements and the difference here is now we're talking about 75,000 group volume points, and you can only have 25,000 come from one leg. So now you have to have at least 3 legs. Instead of all the previous ranks, the elite ranks, you had to have 2. Now you're getting to a point where you have to have at least 3 legs, no more than 25,000 per leg can qualify you for this. You could have 100 legs where none of them really max out at the 25,000, and it can still all add up. But what we're saying is you can't have more than one that counts towards qualification. I can't have one leg that does 50,000 or 75,000 and get you there. All right, and so the difference here is the lifestyle bonus is higher, and as you can see, it's unlimited now. The team commissions are capped, but as far as gen match, as far as everything else, it's open. It is open, and I believe we're going to create some of the biggest incomes in this industry with this compensation plan. We also have some other bonuses and enhancements that are going to come out, but it is real. What gets me excited is when I can see a part-time person, somebody that from all different walks of life come into our compensation plan, and it works for the little person, and it can work for the big person. The person that wants to make a couple extra $100 a month or even a week and change their life that way can do that. The person that wants to make the big income and make tens of thousands and then hundreds of thousands of dollars in this company and compensation plan weekly can do that. This compensation plan works for both. This is why we call it our profit system. We want people to go out there and profit and benefit for going out there and sharing rain with people. And so you might not understand everything that I said, but the beautiful thing is whether you understand it or not, we'll pay you every single week. Also, this is one of those things that for me, when I started in this industry, I didn't really understand things until I started to get paid them. And as soon as I started getting paid different bonuses as I was growing and my organization was growing, things made sense. But as your team grows, you're going to have more and more and more bonuses and ways that you can earn income thrown at you in this compensation plan. So I just want you to know that I'll go up against anybody. I know out there, everybody says they have the best this and they have the best compensation plan that. I see what we pay out every single week. I see the percentages that we pay out. And I really will go up against anybody. I'll ask them, but they need to show me their paper. If somebody else is willing, another owner is willing to share with me what their actual payouts are, I'll do the same. because I know that what we pay out is very, very well for our Rain partners and our distributors that are out there, because we understand that you're the thing that makes it all happen. We understand that as a company, obviously we need to stay in business, but we have some relationships and some things here that allow us to do things that can benefit our Rain partner and our distributor a lot better. And so we want to do that, and we're doing that. So hopefully on this training today, you're able to feel the power of this Rain plan. And if you don't feel it, you're going to see it as you go out there and expand. We're throwing a lot of different ways for people in there to go out and get paid commissions and get bonus and profit off their businesses. They're building their business and helping their organization and expanding across the world. This is a powerful, powerful plan. It's a team approach. And once again, you're going to wait and see. We have people that have been in this industry for 10, 15, 20 plus years that are making more money with Rain in the short time you've been in business than they had previously in their previous companies, even with large organizations. And it just, once again, what's changed? Is it the product? Obviously, the product's different. But when we're looking at the money, the only thing that's changed is the way that we compensate. So thanks so much for joining this webinar today. Let's go out there and hit the top level or hit that next rank. And remember, help your people hit manager. Manager is the key for everything in this company and this compensation plan, for you to go up in rank and for you to be able to tap into more commission payout in your organization. So this is Byron Belka wishing everybody the success out there. I want to see a lot of people around the world here hit that, not just diamond, but Black Rain Diamond. Make up and give you more ranks, which we're happen to do already in the short time we've been in business, because we have people now that are at those highest ranks, and we want to keep them engaged. So thanks once again for joining us, and I wish everybody all the success, and let's go out and make it rain. Have a good day.